You got anything for Omar Qazi?
To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call, hang up now. To block this call and all future calls, press or say. This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Oh, hello.
Hey, man. How you doing? When you got a specific release date yet?
No, the BOP system has me in the system, but it just says I'm not in BOP custody yet.
I see.
So they could be getting me out of here any minute. Just waiting to leave. If it's not right after Christmas, then it's probably after New Year's.
Really? That soon? That soon? You think you might be out of here in January of next year?
Yeah, because there's a guy in here who got sentenced about 3 days before me, and he left about 3 days ago. So I should be next.
Wow, I didn't realize you were getting out that soon, man. I thought you had like a year to go. That's good news, Omar. I'm glad you shared that. Wow.
Oh no! I'm getting out of this facility, going to prison. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah. I thought you meant getting the hell out of that hell for like your freedom. You're just getting out of that particular prison in Nevada, and you're going to go to the BOP custody. Yeah. You don't know where you're going, I guess. Which federal facility?
No idea. I mean, we asked a recommendation for Lompoc, California, but
okay.
There's no telling. They can send me anywhere.
Hey, let me share something with you real quick, and I definitely want to hear what you got to say. But one of my friends, he's also in a very similar situation than with you, even similar charges, and they're transferring him to a federal facility, and he had to go through Grady County, Oklahoma. Man, be cautious if you have to go through Grady County, Oklahoma, because we had one guy supposedly hanged himself, and the family don't believe it for a second. And my friend Mike found a rope-like thing in his isolation cell. So I'm just letting you know, be very wary of Oklahoma prisons, especially the county jail, because they move you there temporarily while they're moving you. But
I heard if you go to anywhere in the eastern region or East Coast, you have to stop by in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's just the standard practice. But a guy here yesterday got stabbed pretty bad. You know?
Wow.
In my unit, I was in the law library at the time when it happened, though. But yeah, I heard they were stabbing them a lot.
I'm hearing of a tremendous amount of violence in prisons. I mean, it's not just that report that you gave me just now, but we don't have the time, Omar. But if we did, I could give you story after story after story of suspicious deaths and violent attacks and even murders in prison. And it all seems like a recent sort of thing. And, you know, of course, a lot of times it's they pit certain ethnicities and religious faction against other ethnicities and religious factions. And I think the guards and the wardens, they don't do anything to try to stop it. They almost encourage it because they get a satanic kick out of it, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's mostly people doing it on their own people.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because, well, from what I see, you know, if they either think that you're let's say you're a snitch, or if you are a sex offender, or if you not just that, but if you could cause like a wreck between another race, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they'll get rid of your own. That was just happened here yesterday.
Wow.
So yeah, but I mean, yeah, things like that happen all the time. But you know, that's why I mean, well, you got to be safe, because even if you're not involved with any of the politics or any of the nonsense, just because of your color or race or you know whatever. Yeah. And if you're just in the day room or you know anywhere getting food or and something goes off like a riot or something, then you'll be caught in the middle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness. It just seems like a very, very brutal, violent place. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, I mean, like I've been saying before, you know, everyone's making their homemade weapons, and you know, it's really a slap on the wrist if they find you with one. They'll probably throw you in the hole for a couple weeks and let you right back out.
Yeah.
That's, you know, so.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Yeah,
let me ask you this. A lot of my letters have been getting rejected. They'll say the envelope isn't white enough. That's got to be a white envelope. Sometimes they'll say there's a substance on the envelope. And I didn't put nothing on the envelope. They just say that, right? But all this, they seem to think there's a big drug problem in prison. I don't doubt that there is, but it seems to me like you ain't getting nothing through that mail room. It's, you know, because I can't get it. I can't even get like a regular letter. The guards have to be involved in, like, if there's drugs in prison, don't you agree, or in what's your opinion, don't you think the guards somehow got to be involved in that situation?
Oh yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
Most
okay.
of it, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, man, I don't want to put you on the spot and get you. I don't mean to put you on the spot because I know they record all our calls, but it just seems to me like they're so worried about the mailroom, and I don't think the mailrooms were. You know, they can easily spot problems with the mail. All they got to do is open up the envelope. But anyway, man, it's good to hear your voice. And so you're going to go to a federal prison probably in January. But do you know what your end release date is? Are you looking at the end of next year, or what do you think?
Well, they usually give you about 6 months for halfway house time. So with counting that, I will have about another year to go.
I see. Wow.
So I'm guessing around mid-November, I'll be sent to a halfway house for 6 months. That's my calculation after, adding up all the good time and things like that. So
okay.
I pray that happens. Hopefully sooner, of course. And
yeah.
I mean, anything's possible. Some case could get ruled on and, get me out sooner, or, I don't know. But, or maybe a little bit more time in the halfway house or something. But, that's what I'm just praying on right now. And
yeah.
It's the same old thing, man. It doesn't change. And, like I said, it's just constant. You gotta be on your toes constantly. It's never relaxation. It's never peace. It's not, it's not fun, man.
Yeah, I would imagine it's a living hell every single day, and I'm surprised you've maintained your sanity through all this. I mean, I don't know anybody else that's gone as long as not having a trial as you did. I mean, that was insane. But if you do get to your new location, when you do find out where that is, let me know, whether it's a phone call or if you want to write me a letter. But we'll make sure the website is updated so people that are following you can, send you letters and things like that. I want to make sure we keep the latest address.
Definitely. I'll let you guys know as soon as I, touch down to wherever I go. I just pray that they don't give me diesel therapy as much as I've pissed off the government.
Yeah, I know, man. I've heard about that. I've heard about that.
Yeah, I know you heard about diesel therapy, which is just complete torture. I'm hearing, it's every time they transport someone through the prison system, it's pure torture.
Yeah.
Even if you're not on therapy, the one-time trip is a complete torture.
Right.
You don't get sleep for 48 hours. You're literally on the road for 24 hours.
Wow.
Or stopping from place to place. Like some guy just came from, I think he said Alaska. He said that he had to, when they woke him up, let's say a couple of days ago at midnight, then all day just to get to, let's say, Idaho. Then they picked some people up there, and then they had to get on another bus or another plane and arrive in Vegas. And then from Vegas, they had to take another ride to Pahrump, and then they had to wait another 8 or 10 hours in the intake holding cell, which is literally, there's no bed, there's no pillow, and then it's just torture, and you're cuffed up with a black box around your wrists the whole time. So going an hour and a half to Vegas and back for court is torture itself. Your wrists are swollen. I can't imagine doing that for 10 or 20 hours straight. That's not even. Yeah. I can't even comprehend that. You know what I mean? And, and I look at these guys and I see how drained they are and swollen wrists, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's inhumane. It's absolutely inhumane.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question.
2019, you would think that they'd have some special jets for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. I mean, Congress, they nearly. They can print money for other things, but I know, man. It's
walls and things, but
they treat you guys worse than dogs. Congressman George Hansen, they nearly killed him with diesel therapy. Let me ask you, you've probably got a lot of legal papers, right, that you've worked on and you've collected, and you want to save those papers. Is it true that when they move you from Nevada into a federal facility, that they're probably going to throw all those papers in the trash and you could lose it all?
Oh, I can't take nothing with me. I can only take nothing. Not even my clothes. Nothing. They're
Yeah.
They put you in a paper suit and put you on Con Air pretty much. They don't.
Wow.
You don't get. You can't take no property with you.
So are you worried about losing all your legal work and your work product and all your? I mean, or have you mailed that out for your family to take care of, or?
Yeah, I'm getting it prepared right now to mail home.
Okay.
But I mean, all the stuff that I filed in the courts, that's on the court docket. So
right.
That's always there.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, as far as personal things and things like that, I'm just gonna mail it home. It's probably gonna cost me like $40-50, and I don't even pretty much got that. But
yeah, I understand.
So,
my goodness.
But it's I don't know. It's always a hassle with things in here, and they just messing with our meals again, and they denied me a tray at lunchtime, and just always constant, something. There's a struggle about something, man. But
yeah. No, I hear you.
I just have to deal with it on a day by day thing, and hoping that I never, don't get in no problems. And I ask the Lord for protection from evil and any harm, and just trying to get through this long journey, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the best plan of action right there, is to ask the Lord for protection, because you are in a place. Man, I just hear violent stories so many times of just unnecessary, man. It's like I could tell you just story after story after story of people being murdered and beat up and stabbed, and just crazy, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to remember, you got some people doing so many years that they don't care really about coming back home. They're just like, kind of like zombies in here, just ready to attack somebody, or it's a pretty messed up system, because, like I said, they don't want it for people to come home. It's like they don't make it so you can come back home in peace. They put you through so much hell and so much time that there's people in here just have no hope. They have they don't really live for nothing. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, there's still some good people that may have made some mistakes that they don't belong to doing 15, 20-year sentences for a little mistake they did one time.
Yep.
Whether it's selling a little bit of weed or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. You mentioned that. There's a guy by the name of Justin Thau, Thau. He was going through Oklahoma, and he was transporting weed between state lines. They put him up for a federal sentence for 1 year. 19-year-old Asian kid, strong family, just like you. They come from they loved each other, and anyway, they said that he hung himself in Grady County Jail, and there ain't no way, man. His family is like asking for the video from the jail, and they're refusing to give it. They've got a website up, and I'm very suspicious that they did something to him. He was only there 24 hours, Omar. He was gonna be moving to California, so that's what I'm saying, man. It's like just continue to pray to the Lord, because when they start moving you and you start going to these different places, you don't know what kind of satanic individuals you're going to be running up against. Yeah,
no, definitely. Well, you heard of Whitey Bulger getting killed as soon as he got to a prison, right?
Yes, they put a lock in a sock. That's a common thing too. He wasn't the only one I heard that they killed with a lock in a sock. I mean, I got another guy. Let me tell you the story real quick. So this guy was like 19, 20 years old, and he had sex with a 17-year-old. Well, now he's a sex offender because she was underage. It was consenting sex, right? It wasn't like he raped her or anything. Not only that, Omar, but he married her, and they had 2 or 3 kids together, and he was like 35 years old. He was in a good marriage with her. They loved each other. And so at 35 years old, he said, I ain't going to report to the sex offender place anymore because, I married the lady. We have kids together. Well, when he didn't report, because he has to report every year for the rest of his freaking life, they put him back in jail. Well, he was going to get out like in less than a year. He didn't get a very long sentence, right? And so they put him in the same area as some dude that was serving life. Well, the guy that was serving life put a lock in the bottom of a sock and beat his brains out. Now he's dead. It's just insanity, man. And that was in a Florida prison. Yeah. That was in a Florida prison.
Yeah, this happens all the time, man. I hear all the stories. It's horrible, man.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'll keep in contact, and Just calling again to say hi, and I'm still breathing. I'm all right.
I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to be so negative right before Christmas, man. It's like we both. I know that the Lord, God Almighty, exists, and I pray that He does protect you, and I pray that He leads you into all truth and me into all truth. And I don't mean to be such a negative person, man. I just sometimes I get carried away with these stories, man. But I realize you guys are in some very difficult circumstances, and we do pray for you, Omar.
All right, thanks, man. And well, you guys have a happy holidays too, man. And well, like I said, as soon as I get somewhere, I'll let you know, and we'll see how it's going. Hopefully, I don't get moved constantly. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I hope so.
They call it therapy. So.
Okay.
Because sometimes you'll get settled in for like 2 days and barely get your phone time, and then boom, you're shipped out again. You know. So,
yeah. Oh, one thing I wanted to share, and it's completely up to you, but. And you may not want to do it since you're going to be getting out soon. The other guy was going to be stuck in prison for like 10 years. But sometimes they move you to like a county jail before they move you to a federal facility. And they have this thing called home wave, video visitation. And only if you want to, if you do get put in a facility like that, let me know somehow with a phone call or however. And I can record that, and you can like tell your story on a video, you know. But since you're getting out so soon, it's not that big it's not a tremendously big deal for you. But if you wanted to do it, I could certainly do that. I could put money on the HomeWave account. I'm very familiar with how it works, and I can record it. It's kind of more important for the guys who are spending 10 years in prison, because once they go to that federal facility, there is no video anymore, right? So it's just like a short period of time where that exists, and then it goes away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Wherever I'm at.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Or anything else kind of new out there that lately?
Well, just to share with you, just that I think today or yesterday, in the past few, in Morocco, there was like two Norway girls, and they're making a big deal about it in the news. It's all over the news, but I guess they were camping, and again, you know how they're always pitting, and keep in mind, when I grew up, Omar, my best friend was Muslim, so I kind of feel like I'm a little bit familiar with the Islamic religion, and I know I know that you don't, we can get along peacefully, right? You're a Muslim and I'm a Christian, and we don't have to kill each other, but these Muslim dudes, it's what's reported in the news anyway, is that they brutally raped these two Norwegian girls and beheaded them and shot them full of bullets, and I guess it was maybe captured on video, and so they're saying that it very likely could be an authentic tape. So that's all going crazy in the media right now to get passion stirred up, and I just hate to see that, and I think people should just be aware of what's going on. And the story's so new, I don't know what to make of it. I'm still trying to digest it. I'm just letting you know so you're aware of it. Yeah,
that's horrible. And those people could be called Satan worshipers that are doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
thing.
I think we can get along peacefully, and we may have differences of opinion about Jesus, and I know you think but at the same time, I don't wish violence upon anybody, and it sounds like you have the same feelings, and it's just you can see where this world is going. That it's going to be it's getting very strange out here, man. It's just very strange. We're living in a very wicked time, and I think the Lord's going to have to set everybody straight. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Hey, I heard recently that David Bundy was trying to buy I guess maybe a gun for Christmas time or something like that, and obviously he's acquitted. He's not a felon. He's not prohibited.
Yeah. And
they said, no, you can't have a gun. You have a felony. You're on probation. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm not a felon or probation. They're like, well, we're going to arrest you. You're not even supposed to be in the gun.
Wow. I did not know that, man. That's crazy. This government, I don't even call it our government anymore. Every time I call it our government, my friend slaps me and says, don't say that. It's not our government. But that's crazy. I'll have to look into that. I was not aware of that. They should have let him own a gun if he was never convicted.
I don't know if he made that public at all yet.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, that's that's just kind of wild. I mean, I've been hearing. I think other people in the Bundy family as well have been targeted. As far as getting on planes or buying guns, and as if they're guilty of crimes or felons, and they're not. You know.
Yeah.
1 minute remaining.
I thought that was kind of awkward.
I have a strong belief that the DOJ, Department of Justice, and the FBI and the CIA are all children of the devil. Those whole organizations have been corrupted, and they're the ones that should be in prison because of what they've done to the American people. That's what I believe. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. You know.
Yeah.
Judgment Day will be coming. So.
Amen to that.
All right, man. Hey, you guys have a blessed day and holidays, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, you're in our prayers, Omar, and you know our prayers are with you.
All right, God bless.
Okay, God bless. Bye-bye.